Welcome to Cruise Night. We are in downtown Jackson, Michigan here, where as you can see, there are tons of awesome classic cars, brand new cars, all right, cutting edge. There's food vendors, there's live music, a little bit of everything going on tonight. It's a beautiful day, it's packed, so we're gonna have some fun. Check this out, Jackson, Michigan downtown, Cruise Night. All right, we are standing next to Greg, who is the owner of this Model T. You don't see these very often, okay, at all. Obviously, this is one of the very first vehicles of all time. Greg, please tell me a little bit about this vehicle and obviously the history, but how you got a hold of one.
Well, actually, it was purchased new in Rives Junction by a farmer, and then a family friend bought it in the mid-1950s, and he restored it in 1958. And he showed it at Greenfield Village, and it won Grand Champion of that year.
Wow.
And so he passed on, I think, in the mid-1980s, and my father bought it from his estate. And then my dad died in 2007, and I inherited it. So
wow,
that's the story.
Now, so obviously, that's incredible that it's purchased not far from here, obviously.
It's never been more than 20 miles from home.
That is
ownership-wise.
Yes, that's incredible. Now, so this one, as far as the models of Model Ts, what year was this one in correlation to the first, or maybe the last?
Well, the first Model T is 1908. This is a 1921, but it's very similar to the early years, and they stopped building them in 1927.
Wow. Now, as far as the advancements from that year, from 21 to 28, what were some, would you say, differences that are noticeable or improvements, they would have said, in the development?
Actually, production kind of fell off a cliff in 1925, so Henry Ford's son, Edsel, jazzed up the model, and they started adding colors because it's black. They're all black.
Yeah.
26 and 27, they had different colors and wire wheels instead of hickory wood wheels, and just trying to make them a little fancier.
Wow. Well, they, as you can tell, they don't make them like this anymore, and the solid wheels, correct? I mean, these things, you wanted to be careful going over bumps. You didn't.
Yeah,
what were the top speeds of these vehicles?
They're hickory spokes. This is comfortable around 35, and if you're in a real hurry, it'll go 40.
This is a 1958 Chevy Impala. It's a convertible, so those are rare. And that's the first year they started making the Chevy Impalas. And my father-in-law did the restore job on it, and he believes in driving them. So he ended up putting a Corvette LT1 Corvette engine in it, and power disc brakes, air conditioning, and he just got done completing the Route 66 from Chicago to LA last summer.
Did he really?
Yeah, pretty cool.
Now, did he do that with a group of other vehicles?
Yeah, he joined up with other people.
From all over the United States.
This is a 23-year restoration, so he did this 23 years ago, so it still looks pretty darn good for...
It sure did.
Yeah.
When did he actually get the vehicle? Do you know what year he received it?
He probably had it about 5 years prior to that, he bought it from somebody in Grand Rapids, and I thought it looked nice, but it wasn't to his specifications.
Sure.
It was an actual frame off tear down. He tore it all the way down to the frame. There was nothing on it but brake lines when he started to rebuild it again.
Oh my gosh. Well, we got to take a look at it, and obviously you said he replaced the motor.
He likes to do everything like the motor underneath where you can't see it, but everything on the outside's original, so it looks original from the outside.
Well, it just looks incredible. I mean, you don't see cars like this very often anyway, especially with the spare tire cover in the back and everything. I just think the total package is something you see classic cars, but not ones like this. We are standing next to a vehicle that you definitely don't see on the roads ever anymore. Stan Lyon is the owner, and as you can tell here, there's a little history right on the side of the vehicle. 1922, okay? This was bought new by Kellogg's back in the day. And obviously it was broken down into a tractor. Tell me a little bit about this, sir.
Well, Kellogg had a flatbed rack, and they delivered cereal. And then they sold it to a guy in Waldron who tarred roads and oil. He had a tank on it, and then my uncle bought it, made it into a tractor,
As you
And
can
when-
see right there, that's incredible.
In 1952 and 3, when I was in Korea, I got a letter from my cousin. They were betting me that he wouldn't buy a new tractor. Well, he did, and so then I bought it from my uncle. I used to help him farm with this truck.
Wow, that is just incredible. And then now, how did all of this customizing come in? Did you help do that?
I made it all. I made the rack and everything. That wood came from my woods.
That is just absolutely incredible. And now, what did you haul around in this bad boy?
Well, I don't do nothing but show it.
Heading out on Highway 9, gonna have ourselves a time. Hot damn, I'm running from your love. Good God, I'm sniffing from the glove. Jolene, you got me right to in desire. Whoa, Jolene. Get out on Highway 9, gonna have ourselves a time. Hot damn, I'm running for your love. Good God, I'm sniffing from the glove. Jolene, you got me right to in desire.
You're invited to the party of the year, the GrassLink Traffic Jammin' July 12th and 13th. Live music, car show, exhibits, 5K run walk, kids activities, food trucks, craft beer, and more. Join us for 2 days of family fun. It all gets started Friday, July 12th. For more information, visit GrassLakeTrafficJammin.com.
Nostalgia Inc., Jackson's home for all things comics, graphic novels, and games. New and back issue comics from Marvel, DC, Image, and tons of independents. Into D&D, Pathfinder, or Shadowrun? Nostalgia Inc.'s the spot with all the books and accessories you could ever need. Nostalgia Inc. also has a huge selection of board games and collectible card games. Whether you're new to comics, a seasoned collector, or just hooked on RPGs, Nostalgia Inc. is the place for you. Nostalgia Inc., located in downtown Jackson.
Looking to buy a truck? You're in luck. Because at MonsterMotors.com, it's time to take a step up. With over 200 trucks, custom trucks, and SUVs, step up to Mid-Michigan's pre-owned truck authority. Get a free online credit score and shop our inventory with confidence.
Just say, show me the Carfax.
200 trucks and SUVs and over 4,000 square feet of accessories. It's time to take a Monster step up. Monster trade-in value, Monster warranties, Monster financing, and Monster deals. MonsterMotors.com. Take a step up.
When I grow up, I want to be a teacher and have kids know their facts, have them be clever and know how to read and write.
When I grow up, I want to be a scientist to cure diseases.
When I grow up, I want to be a nurse to help people when they're sick.
When I grow up, I want to be a cop so that I can help people and take bad people to jail.
Dahlem Nature Center is now taking registrations for their Summer Days Camp for children ages 3 to 12 years. 9 different exciting camp sessions give opportunities to sign up for multiple themed weeks. Most of the day is spent outdoors in the forests and fields of Dahlem's 280 acres. Half-day and full-day camp sessions are available. Easy online registration and forms are available at dahlemcenter.org, with financial assistance available for qualifying families. Dahlem is also hiring counselors for camps. Check out your options online. Dahlem Outdoor Adventures Summer Day Camp voted best place to take a toddler, paid for by Mackey.
We are standing with Rod, who's the owner of this beautiful Dodge. Now, you do see cars like that look like this body style on the road, but you don't see ones this pretty, especially the hood. Rod, tell me a little bit about this vehicle, sir.
Well, it's a 392 Scat Pack Shaker hood, and it's a 2018, and it's fast.
Man, I bet it is. Now, what they base this off of a specific year classic?
The Challenger.
Okay.
The old original Challenger.
Yep.
And they nailed it.
Yeah, I mean, now, what were the biggest differences, aside from the technological differences, to the new version of this car that they maybe didn't have back then?
It's all technological.
Yeah.
Yeah, they are. I mean, the old Challengers were amazing machines, especially the Hemi Challengers. They were just incredible.
Yep.
Where else can you go 100 miles an hour with the AC on?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, so now this specific, what do they call this one? The Scat Pack?
Scat Pack Challenger, SRT 392 Scat Pack.
Now, what does that signify as far as the Challenger goes, as far as compared to the regular one that you'd go to the dealership and buy?
It's the fastest Challenger you can buy except for a Hellcat.
So tell me the difference between the Scat Pack model and the actual Hellcat, because you don't see those very often at all. They don't make very many.
Supercharger.
The supercharger.
I don't have the supercharger.
Okay.
Yep.
And that's the difference, obviously.
Yep. And that equates about 200 horsepower.
Yeah, and see, at that point, I mean, what kind of, do you have control? I mean, I don't know. They would all say, heck yeah, I have control of it, but you hit the gas on these bad boys, and they, I'm sure, can take you for a ride.
I can set this out in the middle of the street and roast them all the way down to the second stop sign and not let up.
All right, we are with Phyllis here, who is the owner, her and her husband, the owner of this vehicle, which looks incredible. You don't see anything like this at all anymore. Please tell me about this car.
It's a 1954 Kaiser Darren. Was built here in Jackson, Michigan. They built 435 of them, and this one color is called a pine tint. They also had red, yellow, and white.
They called that pine tint. And I mean, you know, like we were talking a little bit before we started the interview, it looks like the mint green, you know, or the lime green, but what a classic color with the white wall tires. And yes, this is the original color, which is amazing.
Original color. Yes, it is an original color.
And I mean, now everything about the car stands out to me. The grille, the front stands out. The doors, of course. Tell me a little about these doors.
The doors are pocket doors. My husband took forever. I mean, he worked on these things to get them sliding so slick.
It is so amazing. They are smooth as silk, aren't they?
And the top will snap up here, or this flips up and this flips back down in. However, we don't do that because we don't want to crease our back.
Absolutely, you do not want to do that. Now, as far as restoration, have you had to do a lot of work, or it looks original.
Yes, the first time we had it painted, the guy didn't know what he was doing, and the orange peeled.
Oh my goodness.
It's a fiberglass body, so they had to take all the paint off, and sand it down and repaint it.
Now, so can you walk me up to the front? This grill is so beautiful. I mean, it's so different. It really stands out, doesn't it?
Yeah, my husband says it's a kiss.
It is so cool.
It reminds him of a kiss.
You know what I think of? I swear, I think of the movie that all those kids watch, with Lightning McQueen. It's that car movie, Cars, I think, and just it is a face. That is an absolute face on a car.
Yes, it is really.
Jackson's Hot Air Jubilee, presented by American One Credit Union, July 18th through the 21st, featuring more than 20 balloonists from across the state, craft vendors, Kids Kingdom play area, and much more. Admission is free for all ages. For more information, go to hotairjubilee.com.
Come on down to Allskate and check out all the fun games and events that we have inside. Come in for one of our family skate nights or get your adrenaline pumping with a fun game of laser tag. You can also learn while you're at Allskate. Take a look at our STEM field trips where you can have education and fun all rolled into one. For more information, visit allskate.net.
Are you looking for something fun to do with your family? Maybe you're trying to get out of the office for lunch. Food Truck Tuesdays at Horace Blackman Park in downtown Jackson are coming back on the first and third Tuesdays of June, July, and August from 11 to 1. Each event will feature more than 10 food trucks, lawn games, and a free live concert. Bring your family, your neighbor, your dog, or your coworkers and come have lunch with us. Search Food Truck Tuesday on Facebook to learn more. Hope to see you there.
All right, we are with Ellen, who's with Center Stage of Jackson. She actually volunteers and does costumes, which is super cool. Ellen, tell us a little bit about what you're doing today.
Tonight we're promoting our second annual Porkapalooza. It's a pulled pork competition.
What?
At 308 Brass Rail.
Excellent.
And, this is our second year.
Yeah.
And we have, I think, close to a dozen people signed up, but there's still room for people who want to enter.
Wait a minute, really? Pulled pork? I love pulled pork. We're with Aaron Anders here from Philly Billy, which it smells incredible, and there are a lot of people in line waiting for their food, and I'm not going to be able to stand here long. Buddy, what the heck are you making here?
Philly cheesesteaks and pulled pork sandwiches.
There is pulled pork, man. I told Ellen, man, over there, there's a pulled pork competition coming up, man. They're trying.
We're in it.
See? How about that? So they are in it. You guys got so pulled pork, you got brisket, is that what you said?
We want it all ready, just nobody It's a brisket, sauteed onion, green peppers, melted cheese, and brisket, of course. Smoked brisket. Smoked brisket.
Smoked brisket. Now, where are you guys out of?
Jackson. We're on East Michigan and Horton Street.
Well, it smells amazing, man, and we're going to have to get ourselves one of these bad boys in a few minutes, but we got to get in line. There's too many people. Thanks a lot, brother. We are standing next to Debbie, the proud owner of the coolest food cart I've seen, maybe ever. Debbie, this is awesome. Tell me about it. What do you make? I know dogs, Baxter's Dogs. Tell me, did you build that?
Yes, my husband, we bought the shell of this cart, and then my husband built the rest of it, put in all the extra refrigerator, microwaves, batteries to run it, and we're up and running, and we're also at Menards too.
So,
Page Avenue.
Oh my gosh. Now tell me, did you know when you bought it that you wanted it to be a food cart?
Yes, this is my retirement plan. I worked at Henry Ford for 20 years, retired in December, and been doing this ever since, and I love it.
Yeah, this is originally designed by Ferdinand Porsche, and it was for the Volkswagen company that was formed by the German government before World War II began. And it's based on a Volkswagen Bug chassis with a beefier suspension, and then you can see the sheet panel styling on it. So the Kübelwagen is the name of the car, and it was a Kübel is a nickname, a Bavarian slang for a metal pail.
Wow.
And that's why I put the little bucket on the front. It's like a double entendre. But it's basically a Volkswagen. I had to rebuild the transmission about 10 years ago, and I was able to go to the dune buggy shop and buy the parts right over the counter. They hadn't changed the design.
Wow, really?
That's really cool. But this particular car, because the serial number on it was made in October of 1944, so that's in the wartime, and it was found after the Battle of the Bulge in Belgium, pushed into a snowbank out of gasoline. And so a Belgian farmer used it as his private vehicle for a couple of years. And then he loaned it to a museum called the Victory Museum in Belgium. For about 40 years it stayed parked inside the museum. And then after he died, I bought it from his grandkids and brought it here in '96 and took a year to restore it. I have Michigan plates and Michigan title for it now.
Oh, man.
We use it for military reenactments. The next one, the big one that we'll be in, is the Thunder Over Michigan Air Show, which is by Willow Run Airport from the Yankee Air Museum. And
Wow.
it was I just got done with filming with it in a small movie, World War II movie, that is being produced here in Michigan, and we were on location for 8 days with it, and it's called Wolfhound is the movie. It's a small movie, but so
Man.
it's been in another couple of movies before us.
Let